Hi, this is Jim Robinson at ProfitTrading.com. Please visit ProfitTrading.com for free trading newsletters. I have a stock, a futures, or a Forex trading newsletter. They're all free, and if you sign up for them and give them a try and they're not for you, there's an easy unsubscribe at the bottom of every newsletter, so it's a good try to see if you like the newsletters. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little trading lesson on STEC, and this is a stock we bought, and this is just how it played out in my premium newsletter, premium stock newsletter. STEC made a double bottom here, and this low was a little higher, but I still consider that kind of a double bottom. And then it came down and it made like a head and shoulders here, and this could also be considered a cup with handle. If you see, I've got the cup with handle drawn there, and then on the cup with handle, you basically wait for it to take out this high to go long, but I kind of anticipated a little bit, and it made this thrust up, and it made a good volume day here, so I kind of figured that it was going to take out this high, and actually that's pretty darn close. So anyway, what we did is we went long above the high of this bar. I put that out in the newsletter. I said wait for the high to get taken out because that gives the trade a little extra confirmation. And then I knew I wasn't going to give the trade much more room to work below the $12 level, but I think in the newsletter I put the stop at 11 just to give it a little room to work from the beginning, because I think you got to give them a little room to work. But again, if this thing would have started puttering around in here, and then if it would have taken out 12, I probably would have just in the newsletter I would have said let's get out of this trade. But we got into it, and it took a couple days, and then it took off, and it broke through resistance up here, so everything was going good. And then it ran up to here, and then it made this big strong down move, and that was just basically a test of this base here, or the cup pattern, or whatever you would want to call this, the base. And that's not uncommon. A lot of times it'll just come down and test this high and maybe not go in to the base there, but this did, and that's fine. It just every stock is going to play it a little different, but so then it came back up, and it came back through what had been this was resistance. Now it became support, and now it's heading up through here, and now it's hitting new resistance, and it made a triangle pattern here. And again, as I was following this stock every day, you can kind of see that triangle pattern playing out. And since the stock was in an uptrend, I still felt like we were good holding it. I was pretty confident that the stock was going to continue higher. So all through this, when you go back and look at a chart, it doesn't look like, I held all through here. It doesn't look like that big a deal, but that's about 3 months, and you're watching that thing every day, so it takes a little patience. That's one thing about stocks. There's a lot of patience involved. And so we were holding, and then it broke through here, and again, everything was looking good. And then it got up here, and there was a couple things that were going through my mind. First of all, we had a pretty nice profit. We basically started off excuse me, with about $150, $200 risk. We bought 100 shares in the newsletter, so that was about a point and a half, 2 points risk. So we had like $150 risk. By the time we got up here, we were about like $750, $800 ahead on the trade. So again, that's where you start to think, you want to hold it as long as you can, but you also don't want to give back when you got that nice of a profit. So then on this day, it's a little hard to see, but that was a doji, and that's often a topping pattern. And then it made a hanging man here, and again, it's hard to see on here, but if you would go to STEC and put a candlestick chart on it, on maybe your software or whatever, you would see these played out. And so that's where I got to thinking, this looks awful toppy in here. That's just classic topping pattern with candlesticks. And plus there were some other things I was looking at, momentum and all that. So I brought the stop up to about, I think, under this bar here, and we got out about 21 something, and it ended up being a $710 profit. And I still think that STEC is heading higher. I think this stock could have a long ways to go, but again, I wanted to lock in a profit. I think it's just the wise thing to do. We can always get in again at a moment's notice, and we can, with the commissions low nowadays, you can kind of get in and get out, and sometimes it's better just to get out and take another look at it. Now, right now, the target would be, it made a top up here, and it made a pretty good wide range down bar here, so it's probably going to correct some more. So basically what I would expect it to do is come down here to the 18 area. And then when it comes down to the 18 area, or if that's what happens, but it looks pretty sure that there's a good chance that'll happen. We'll be looking for some kind of base pattern, another cup with handle, basically anything that says the low is in. And then I'll be looking to buy this stock again for the premium newsletter. I mean, I'm not out of this stock at all. We're just out of it short term with the profit. And and then if it comes down here and it breaks 18 and it keeps going down for some reason, well, then we're glad we're out. So that's why you gotta lock in the profits sometimes. And that's exactly how this stock played out for us. This is all just kind of classic market action. I mean, I really didn't I do look at a lot of technical indicators too, but the main thing that got us in this knocking out was just the chart. I mean, I liked this base here, and everything was shaping up. It just looked like it was making a bottom, so we got in, took a little nibble at it. If it wouldn't have moved our way, I would have got out. Then everything along the way was just classic action. It broke through resistance, came back down and tested, moved back up, and then hit the new resistance here and consolidated here in a triangle, and then it broke through there. So really this stock long term is bullish. I mean, it's still in a nice uptrend, but again, it was the short term action up here that kind of said, we got a profit, we better just take it and we'll get out and we'll just see what's happened. And that's just the way we're going to play it. So it's all kind of just classic market action. So I guess that's about it for this trading lesson. But this is just a beautiful chart. I mean, it's perfect. And this is just the kind of thing I look for in my premium newsletters. Stocks like this, where I can get a little, $150 risk or something, and you just kind of take a nibble at it. And if it moves your way, you stay in, and if it doesn't move your way, you get out. And that's kind of the way I play it in the premium newsletter. Like I said, I originally put the stop down at maybe around the 11 area in the newsletter, but I'm updating the newsletter every night after trading. So if this thing would have just came down here and looked like it wasn't doing the right thing, we would have just got out at the market. So very rarely do we take a big loss in the premium newsletter, because even if I start out with a $200 or $300 risk, if the trade doesn't move our way right away, we usually end up getting out at the market. So if you can risk 150 and get 700, that's basically what we're trying to do. And then since we got a $700 profit, if that can help cover a couple small losses if we take a couple small losses. So like everybody knows, the name of the game is bigger profits and smaller losses, and that's exactly what we did on STEC. So anyway, thanks for listening to my video. I hope that gives you a little something to look at in the future for stocks, and I'll be doing some more trading lessons in the future. So thanks. Jim Robinson, ProfitTrading.com.